upbeat, something that can help to better the next time you speak. It also, their evaluations also going to make the speaker aware of things that they did well and things that they can improve on. They each have 3 minutes to give the evaluation. At 1 minute, the green light will come on. 1.5 minutes, the orange light. 2 minutes, the red light. To give for the first speaker, Francis Power, we have Kara Hall. Just come on up and get it. It is with alacrity that I evaluate Fran Powers on her speech this evening, more than just a meeting. Fran was to tell us an original story with a lesson. And the story was to be entertaining and have a surprise twist. Fran presented her story this evening in a simple manner that we were clearly able to understand. She had great eye contact throughout the room, making sure we were all paying attention. She also used hand gestures to keep us involved in the actual story itself. I could just picture the individual, pick me, pick me, pick me. Someone who really loved table topics and wanted to be involved. I love table topics myself. So if I was an inmate, I'd say pick. That's wonderful. All the elements of a good storytelling was involved in this speech. The setting, we found out, was in prison. The characters, fellow Toastmasters. The actions, hands being raised by inmates wanting to make sure they were participating. And, of course, how could we not forget Tony Hernandez going into the real world again? Fran used vocal variety with the enthusiasm that Tony Hernandez himself showed as the actual person who gave the meeting that night. We heard a twist in the story, that even though Fran was a Toastmaster and was at a Toastmasters meeting, she was actually in prison. I didn't even realize Toastmasters went to prison. But what a wonderful place to actually learn and to become better communicators, better leaders than in Toastmasters when you have time in a prison setting. This speech was very inspiring, I believe, to all of us. We have our freedoms. We can come and go when we want to. But these individuals committed themselves to being at Toastmasters. How much more should we commit ourselves with the freedoms that we have to use our Toastmaster leadership and training skills that we learn here? Fran, thank you for an inspiring speech this evening. We look forward to more. Thank you. Toastmaster Hall. Next we'll have to evaluate Harvard Freeman, Renee Moyd.
Therefore, let me start with this story. There was this man, a runaway slave. He walked somewhat with knock knees, but he was really tall, 6'2", and he was on his way to Boston. I wanted to create for you a vision. And that's what, when we're giving a story from history, we want to bring it to life. Tonight, Horace, you provided us with a really important history lesson about Christmas Advent. You gave us a lot of historical information about the situation. I feel like we had a history lesson tonight. We did learn a lot. We learned that he was a runaway slave. We learned about him possibly going off into whaling. We learned about about him being shot in this altercation, and then the trial that proceeded, and then what in fact has happened since then as to how historical monuments have been set up in his remembrance. All of those things were very well done. The one thing that I would like to have seen, though, is that in this project, because we were supposed to bring history to life, is for you to really set that plot. Create the characters so that we can see them. There's nothing like hearing a story and feel that you know exactly every detail that you can know about the person who is part of that story. I hope I was able to provide you with that with my introduction of Crispus, because those were the characteristics. Even being able to portray his walk would be another way for you to see him. And that's what I felt this project was lacking. We heard the facts. I'm just not sure we got the emphasis. And then that dialogue. There's nothing like dialogue in a story. We want to hear what this person said. We want to hear what this person said. But that was missing in this project. So I think if we could have had some dialogue as to what might have transferred between him and the soldiers, even if it was made up. How do we know? We're just hearing a story. We love to be told. We love to have stories told to us. Therefore, I would have created some dialogue to make the story even more in-depth. Great history information. I just think that with a few more twists and turns, you could create this to really be a story that would capture us and take us on a journey. Madam Master of that.
For our next